Hey everybody, Wisdom here. It is 3:10 a.m. early Sunday morning, July 20th, 2014. We've got Washbuckler here. The time has finally come. This is I guess technically I still have fire cracking to do, but in theory this is like my last swap force upgrade for the swappers. Outside of Firecrack, reason for that, you think, wait, what about Freezeblade? I already did it. He was one of my little test subjects there, namely because my nephew really likes him and kind of wanted to see how he upgraded. So, if you were also thinking, hey, wait, this is Washbuckler, you've used him in the playthrough, he shouldn't be level 1, what's up with that? Here's what's up with that. If you recall, Washbuckler, who I did use in the blind playthrough, he actually was the character I had when I think you had to purchase an upgrade, or you might have not had to, but you were put in a situation where you were supposed to, and it was basically a deal. I wanted everyone to see how the power pod works because it's new and different than Persephone's usual system. So I went ahead and did that, and instead of having to say we already have this and then people go up in arms about it or something, easier for me to just grab this guy. He's from the X-Bone starter pack, and got him the cash just now. That's why you see A flashing in the corner. Did my little popcorn trick, but probably a little overdue to upgrade this guy, but hey, it is what it is, and I like to play blind with box stock characters. It's just a personal preference of mine. So his primary attack up top is called Sword Slash, and what it is what you see. He slashes his sword. It'll do 34 to 51. You note it is kind of slow. What I mean by that is essentially if I face the camera here, I press Y and it takes him a little bit of time in between, like if I just hold Y down, it doesn't work at all. Rapid tapping, you can kind of fire off some quick hit combos, but it's still, it's just not as fast as some of the others. Damage numbers though kind of offset that a bit because 34 to 51, and that is box stock, so that kind of, like I said, makes a little bit of a difference there. On the bottom end, what he has is called Somersaulty. That's going to be our A button on the Wii U. Cool thing, a lot of people don't know, but you can kind of just taunt your enemies. Obviously you can't move, you can just rotate 360 degrees, but when you do, you have an initial hit, like the tentacles thrusting toward the enemy, and then you kind of have like a subsequent roll tied in with it. So on the hit, let me actually get to my spreadsheet here. We'll have to start entering things, but on the hit you're going to do 35 to 53 damage, and then when you roll through it'll be 25 to 38, and it's generally 2 times. Not saying it'll be 2 every time. Obviously your distance is going to be the key factor, but if you're point blank range and you're not just going to plow through or kill the enemy, you should have 3 potential chances, or if there's a crowd of enemies you'll have initial and then 2, possibly 3 on the roll. Here in the ruins, not the ruins, this isn't SSA, here in the training grounds, I'm seeing 2 times on the dummy. So to showcase it, there was 35, 25, 25, so that kind of highlights that. He is surprisingly quick. He is a character that I would think would be extremely slow, kind of like a Bumble Blast situation. He's by no means lightning fast, especially with some of the upgrades I've done recently. Cough cough roller brawl. But for a swapper, his box stock speed is 43, and he's not setting the world on fire, but the guy can move fairly well, at least a lot more agile than I thought he would be. That said, the way that I do the Swap Force upgrades, 5 videos, 1 for the top and bottom base upgrades, basically 3 each, and then 4 separate videos highlighting each of the paths, 2 for the top and 2 for the bottom. So issue with Washbuckler is I have Dark Washbuckler. Again, I told everyone, go get the Dark Starter Pack, it's a good deal. And then not everyone did that, and now people can't get the Dark figures, and I'm starting to get a lot of complaints about that, and that's why I told you when it was readily available for all the consoles. There's some people that have sent me messages like, hey, should I get this for the Wii? I have a PlayStation 3 and a 4, or hey, I've got a 360 and a PS4, should I get the Wii one? And the thing is, the characters will work the same on any game, system or console or 3DS, obviously. It's kind of a downside because you then can't play the game or something. But you know, you can sell it, trade it with a friend, whatever, but my advice remains what it was initially: buy it from the get-go, you know. But that's just me. Nonetheless, what I may do, I want Dark Washbuckler to have the 2-pass top and bottom that I prefer the best. So, since I have 2 washbucklers, I don't have color shift washbuckler though. But since I do have the 2 regular washbucklers, I may highlight all 4 of the pass by way of those 2, and then just come in and do one giant upgrade bonanza with dark. It would be really quick, you know, wouldn't spend as much time analyzing things. Just boom, boom, boom. Here it is, base, top, and bottom. Here's why. You know. So that said, we're going to come in here to the top end. Now that we've covered all that, I believe I have this on the other washbuckler, but you have to get this to do his personal quest. I think you have to kill 50 enemies with the bubble blaster. So or maybe it's tied in with the next. I can't really remember. It might be the last base upgrade, but anyway, you've got to have this to begin with. So bubble blaster 192. Bear in mind that I have the 18 wing sapphires working in my favor. That's why my prices are as low as they can be. Press X, that is our tertiary attack, to shoot a bubble that will trap an enemy for a short time. So we'll go ahead and pick that up. Alright, next up we have Blade Sail for 512. Sword attacks do increased damage. Hold Y to charge the sword, release to perform a dash attack. That should be beneficial, especially if it ups the damage, because 34 to 51, regardless of how slow it is pretty high. Can't buy that one just yet, so let's check these 2 out. I'm surprised that other controller hasn't gone on yet. And I say that, and that's so, anyway, tertiary attack, we can put people in bubbles. 25 on impact, so it should be 38 on critical. Can we catch sheep? Yes, we can. Interesting. Look, we can shear him in the bubble, but that's it. So, guess if you shoot him again, that'd be crazy. It's not like the bubble gets bigger or pops or anything. So. That's that. Yeah, I think you do actually have to have the piranhas in the bubbles to do his personal quest. So, nonetheless, this is a prerequisite to buying that. So, you know, technically I was not wrong when I said that. So 25. Oh, I'm sorry. What am I doing? Everything but push the A button. That's what I'm doing. All right, it is late. God, not AX. X. All right. There we go. I've been in 3DS and Minecraft Pocket Edition mode for too long. 25, if we ever saw a critical, he can actually shoot that really fast now that I spin it. So, I mean, that's basically as good as it gets if I hold the X button. Oh, the sheep got me. Let me make sure there's, like, no hidden things here. No. So, 25 to 38 is basically going to be it if we ever saw the critical of 38. The thing is, you can actually hold the X button down and move, so not that you have to, because it's pretty much an instantaneous shot. You get the idea. Let me come up here, 2 bubble blaster, 25 to 38, traps, enemy, and Blublier. So, Blade Sail, we're going to hold down the Y button. If you recall, we were doing 34 to 51, and now even the standard attack has changed. So, that is a nice unwritten perk. 40 to 60. STD, that's going to be standard. Blade Sail, we've got to charge, so let's read about it. Oh, sword attacks do increase damage, okay. Hold Y to charge the sword, release to perform a dash attack. I assume it's ready, obviously, since we've got the aura around it. Wow, did not expect that. And that must be the standard number, which that would mean we'd be sitting at 135 critical. That'll work. 1 Mississippi. It's basically like a 1 to 2 second charge time. I mean, essentially, and you can move while you do that and while you actuate it. So, let's see, I don't know that we can go through this dummy into another. No. tried holding it down longer. It does have decent range, so I mean, check this out. And he does dash forward towards the enemy, so let's try from right here. This may be too far back, we will find out. No, he barely made it, but he got there. Let's check out the maximum range. I'll step back about another tentacle set or so. Didn't quite make that, but I mean, it's pretty impressive. So, 90 to 135 dash. That's pretty cool stuff right there for a big secretary. Washbuckler, you know, you heard a little chatter about him, you know, right at launch, and not much else. I've had a few people say, oh, Washbuckler, you know, he's my favorite character, but you know, no one's ever really said why. You have to assume early on that it's, you know, wow, you know, he's cool, or he's an octopus, and that's awesome, or I like pirates. When you don't hear like, oh yeah, Doomstone can't take damage in PvP, man, that makes sense. But you know, whenever people don't tie in like, oh yeah, that piranha bubble thing's epic, you just kind of have to assume it's like, okay, they just like, you know, the aesthetics and the pirate theme or something, you know. But hadn't really heard much about him past like that initial launch window time, if you will. Outside of like the few people like, oh, hey, who's your favorite? Mine's Washbuckler. So, Dangerous Waters is his final base upgrade on the top end. 640 is the price. Press X to shoot a piranha-filled bubble at an enemy. Warning, these little fish are angry. So that is prerequisite to his special quest. I think it's 50 enemies that you have to kill. Cutlass Captain and Bubble Buccaneer we're going to explore later. I meant to actually read the top end. We'll take it from here. So the bubbles were basically doing 25 to 38 and imprisoning the enemies. I didn't ever count how long, sadly, but let's see what happens now. Okay, so that piranha is just having a heyday with that guy. And then he goes away. Let's hit him in a bubble and shoot him. Can't really, yeah, okay, I don't think that does anything extra, so... And the dummies aren't, like, catching the piranha and showing additional damage. Let's check the range on the gun over here. Not that great. I mean, it's decent. It's decent. It's just not great, and it kind of like fans out there, you know. On you. You can still shoot it relatively fast. I'm just spamming the X button right now. Finally saw 38. That's a small. I don't know. I'm guessing the piranha should do damage, but it's kind of weird because, you know, even if it was like 2, 5 times or 7 times of 3 or something crazy, it's usually shown on the dummy and it shows the initial damage, although it did that with the bubble itself. So, I don't know. What I'm probably going to do before I upgrade, I'll take this guy into an arena challenge and we'll kind of see what happens. I'll also try to complete his specific quest. But 25 to 38 with piranha. That's always a funky thing to spell, especially when you're tired. I think it's A-N-H-A is all you have to do. So, bottom end now. Let me get down here on the spreadsheet. I'm coming down there now. Alright, Octo Lash for 192. Hold A to slap enemies with 2 tentacles. I think that my playthrough Washbuckler has this upgrade as well. Can't remember if they made me do top and bottom or what, but or maybe I just showcase them to you. I don't know. Health is increased. How about that? Yeah, jets. Alright, so we'll take these one at a time, namely because I'm not. I guess his health should be 270 since he's box stock. Guess we could have bought that, but we'll save it. Just take it from there. So now let's go ahead and I just pressed A. Nothing seems to have changed. 35. There's the 38. My gosh, that's the first time I've ever seen that critical number, and that includes my pre-testing. So Summer Salty will still be the 35 to 53, 25 to 38. But now on Octo Lash, when we're going to hold A, 60, So that must be our standard number. I'm not doing this, I'm just literally holding A. That would mean 90 would be critical, which we haven't seen yet. 60 to 90. Now I'm going to try to count the time in between this. Basically 2 seconds. So 60 to 90 every 2 seconds. So very high damage number there, but you are probably at risk of being attacked unless you're just like battling some pansy enemies that are just like a chompy spawner situation. For example, we kill 3 chompies with a 60 to 90, and then the spawner spits out another wave, and we've got time, and it's not a situation where we're getting blasted while we're waiting there. So, deep skin, to me that sounds more like armor, and again, I love armor and its health. I'm not a huge fan of the health upgrades either, but that said, they do at least have like actual benefit, where the critical hit every time I've tested it has been like negligible impact. The health is actually something that is tangible. I can see it. He's at 270 right now because he's box stock, hasn't done anything in the game outside of coming here and get money and now get upgraded. So this will give us a nice baseline. We'll see how much it goes up. Probably won't be anything crazy, but hey, you know, if that extra 30 or whatever it may be keeps you from dying, it was well worth it. So we'll pick it up for 512. You can read that description while I talk, and we read it last time. So that said, the final base upgrade on the bottom end for Washbuckler is called Inkjet. The price is 640. Octolash now shoots ink that damages and temporarily causes enemies to have difficulty seeing. So note that this doesn't poison them over time or cause damage over time or slow them down, but it's kind of a spin-off. Instead of slowing the enemies down, this makes it to where they can't see. So let's say that we shoot a Greeble with Inkjet and he's swinging at us. We've got low health, we're trying to set up and kill him. We could probably just kind of sneak around the backside and not have to risk getting hit with a sword, or maybe he wanders off to the left or right, assuming that's where we are, something crazy like that. But 640 is the price. It should be cool to see in action. Alright, Tentaculist and Ink Artist will be coming up soon. But for now, we're going to come out over here. 370, that is way more than I expected. So, I have to word this correctly in the spreadsheet. I can't put plus 100 health. I have to put health plus 100. So if you read that and you think, man, is he dyslexic? No, it's simply the fact that the spreadsheet doesn't like plus 100 coming first. But oddly enough, you can do it after text, and there's no issue. So that's actually not a bad setup. I don't know if they kind of ran out of ideas for the tentacles, factoring in the upgrades or what. But, I mean, that will be a very, very nice addition. You know, I mean, 100, I was figuring we might have like 30 to 50, and 100 is pretty dadgum significant. You consider the fact he started out at 270 and we picked up 100. That's a big time increase right there. So 50% of that would have been what, 135. So pretty healthy little bump in the health department there. Now, the last thing we need to check out is an Inkjet. Apparently now when we Octolash, he's going to shoot ink and damage. Yeah, damages and temporarily causes them to have difficulty things. So, how do we shoot this? To me that looks no different than it has in the past. Wait, Octolash. My bad. Alright. Wow, great range with that. So the ink is also going to be 60 because there's no way in hay that those tentacles are reaching there. And it's like 2 little pulses just like the tentacles. Look at the range towards Gorm. Let me kind of... That's really, really nice for me. And he's not slow to begin with, so it's going to be very beneficial. And it kind of offsets that. What would be really cool is if we had Inkjet go and then the tentacles, and it was kind of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, just over and over. You disorient the enemies and then decimate them, basically. But, so, theoretically, it seems like we should be doing 120. when I'm close, I only see 61 times. But it's clear the tentacles aren't hitting the dummy with the ink, and we're doing 60 damage. Yet when I turn to face this guy, he's getting hit with the ink and the tentacles, and there's only one set of damage numbers. 60 to 90. And you have to remember that that will make it hard for the enemies to see, and I don't know. What I'll do, actually, is I'm going to end this video, obviously, and before we go in and check out the upgrade pass, I'm going to take Washbuckler in. I'm going to explore, you know, like, what do the piranhas do, if anything, damage-wise to an actual enemy, and then what does the ink jet do combined with Octolash to actual enemies. And then I'll document that there. I could do it now, 2052, but I mean, there's a chance it would be hard to document, and I don't want to risk that, so I'm going to do it that way. I think it'll work out well, and I'll have the damage numbers on the spreadsheet. If you want to see that spreadsheet, if you want to see all 4 of his upgrade pass and make the best choice when upgrading your Washbuckler or collection of Washbucklers, take the link at the top of the video description box. It'll take you to the post dedicated to Washbuckler and Dark Washbuckler. Highlight these base upgrades you've seen here. It'll showcase the 4 paths with the soul gems, and you'll have access to my exclusive spreadsheet that, like I said, will have damage numbers for each and every upgrade Washbuckler has. So be sure to check that out, and make sure you are subscribed. If you like what I'm doing, hit that button. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will catch you back here as we probably take this guy here down a couple of the paths I'll pick, and then we'll take it from there.